I think I might have found my new favourite way to cook pork belly. Welcome back everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make crispy pork belly in the Weber kettle. Now we've done a crispy pork belly in the Weber before, but this is going to be a bit of a different cooking method, so let's get into it. Now to start with, we'll need some pork belly and some paper towel. We've just taken this out of the vac seal, so we're just going to give it a pat dry on the skin. So preparation is absolute key to getting that perfect crackling, so I'll show you what we're going to do next. All right, so you want something sharp. I'm going to use a jacquard, but if you've got a corn cob holder, they work awesome as well. We're just going to stab our pork belly all over, and as you can see, this one's already been pre-scored, but that's fine. Now what that does is it creates small holes all over the skin. They're probably too small to see on camera, but it really helps moisture escape out of the skin, which is going to really help to get that perfect crackling. And then our next step, we put our pork belly aside for a sec, and lay down some foil, put our pork belly in that, and then we just want to wrap our pork belly up, leaving the skin exposed. And then I've just got some rock salt, and we're going to cover the skin in that. If you've got normal salt, that'll work fine as well. Rock salt's just a little bit easier to work with, as the granules are larger. Again, this is just going to really help draw any moisture out sitting underneath the skin. So if you've got normal salt, go ahead and use that. But we really want to avoid getting any salt on the meat. All right, and that can go in the fridge now. So what I'm going to do now is just transfer that onto a plate, and then that's going to go in the fridge for 24 hours, just again to really help draw that moisture out that's sitting underneath the skin. So if you can, try and get some good quality pork from your butcher. That's also going to really help get that perfect crackling. But like I said, for now, let's get this in the fridge and we'll come back just before we're ready to cook it. Right, so our pork belly's been in the fridge for 24 hours, but before we get stuck into cooking that, let's set our Weber kettle up. So we are going to take our lid off, remove our cooking grate, get some firelighters going. Place our charcoal chimney on top, open up some briquettes, and fill our charcoal chimney up. So we're going to wait until our briquettes are nice, red hot, ashed over and ready to go. That's probably going to take about 15 minutes. If you wanted to use lump charcoal, you could use that as well. And our cooking method, we're going to be using high indirect heat and we're going to be using a kettle cone. If you wanted to check these out, I'll put a link down in the description. These are perfect for creating high indirect heat. I'll show you a bit more about it once we're ready, but for now we're going to leave our briquettes and I'm going to get our pork belly prepped up. All right, so we're going to get this pork belly out and brush all the salt off the skin. And then we're just going to dry the skin again with some paper towel as that salt's drawn a bit of moisture out. And then I'm going to cut this pork belly into 3 strips. And then we're going to season the meat side. I'm going to use a few different rubs. I'm going to use a steak sheeter on one of them. Try and keep that skin nice and clean. I'm going to use Heavenly Hell's Sweet Succulent Swine on the next one. And then the third one, I'm just going to use a little bit of salt. Now to finish prepping the skin, just got a little bit of rice bran oil, something with a nice high burn temp. Just going to lightly brush the skin. A little bit of salt on top. This is just some flaky salt I'm using. And that's ready for the Weber. All right, so our briquettes are pretty much ready. We'll let these few top ones get the rest of the way inside the vortex. So we'll take our charcoal chimney out. Make sure we got our high heat gloves on. Then we'll get our briquettes in the vortex. Tidy up the few that didn't get in there. Make sure your bottom vent's open. We'll put our cooking grate on and our lid. And also make sure your lid vent's open too. So we're going to give the Weber a few minutes to preheat. Got some smoking wood ready. We've gone with some Nectarine from Natural Smoke. So if you've got another favourite smoking wood with pork, go ahead and use that. And we'll come back once this pork is ready to go in the Weber. All right, our Weber's had a few minutes to preheat. So we're going to get our smoking wood on. We're going to get our pork belly on. We're going to face the skin towards the fire. We'll get our lid on. We're going to start with the vent over our left piece, and every 15 minutes or so, we're just going to rotate the lid over each piece so it gets a nice even heat distribution. So I reckon this pork belly cook's going to take less than an hour. We're going to cook it until it reaches an internal temperature of around 185 Fahrenheit or 85 degrees Celsius. We're going to check it after about half an hour. We're going to have a look at our crackling. We obviously don't want to burn that. If our crackling's set and looking like it's potentially going to burn, we're just going to turn our pork belly around so the skin is facing away from the fire. So we'll keep checking in throughout the cook. I haven't actually cooked pork belly like this using a Vortex, but it creates high indirect heat, which is exactly what you want to get that crispy skin on your pork belly. So we'll let our Weber go and check back in shortly. All right, so we're about half an hour, 40 minutes into this cook. We've turned the lid, so we're on that last piece of pork belly now. So let's open it up and have a quick look. All right, so we're getting some beautiful crackling. This is working a treat. I don't think we'll be much longer. So we'll get that lid back on for a sec. We'll quickly open it back up. I'm just gonna grab our instant read and see where we're at. So that's our thickest piece. So about 150 Fahrenheit internal. So we'll get our lid back on, and I reckon this will only be another 15 minutes or so. Right, so I've just had another check. That thinner piece has hit our target internal temperature. The crackling's perfect on it. So let's get that piece out and have a taste. Seriously, have a look at that. All right, let's have a taste. That was the one we only seasoned in salt. Such a good texture to it. Nice, tender, juicy meat. Perfect crispy crackling. Let's not forget about the other pieces. Let's check them out. Oh man, that piece looks amazing. Oh, so does that piece. I reckon these will be ready, so let's get them out. So our pork belly's done. Now I'm going to show you how I'll serve it. All right, so I've got this beautiful steamed bun. So we're just going to open it up. Here I've got some pickled carrot and fresh cucumber. Just going to mix that together. And then that's going to go down the bottom. And then we're going to lay some of this crispy pork belly down. And then some fresh red chili, some hoisin sauce. I'll top it off with some crispy fried shallots. Then we can close it up. Seriously, that is such a tasty combination. Let's eat. So feel free to put your own fillings in your steamed bun. That's just what I like. I'll put a recipe for the pickled carrots and everything we've used today down in the description. So I'm going to get stuck into this. That combination is unbelievable. The soft steamed bun, the crispy pork belly, nice chili kick, the hoisin sauce, the pickled carrot, the fresh cucumber. Honestly, one of my favorite dishes. Now, I didn't make the buns myself. They were store-bought. Most Asian grocers will sell them. It's quite a bit of a process to make them, and to be honest, I don't have the patience for it. So check out your local Asian grocer if there is one near you. There are a few supermarkets starting to stock them now, so shop around and see if you can find some. Let's have a quick look at these other pieces. I think I might have found my new favorite way to cook pork belly. And that's our other piece. Got a little bit overcooked up here, but seriously, doesn't get much better than that. So that's the end of the video, everyone. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.